When you're a kid going to school, you often don't think that missing one class is really going to affect you or impact you in a long way. But once you start accumulating all those absences, you really start detaching yourself from learning and from engaging. And you really put yourself in a hard spot where you don't understand what could come next, and we don't want you to be in that mindset, right? And so the more you go to school, the more focus you have on your future. Once you start not going to school, I think you start letting go of that hope that's there for you to be successful in life, and for you to be able to accomplish certain goals, and for you to be who you want to be in life. A lot of us, for me in particular, I watched my mom and my dad go to factory jobs, and they always said, we don't want you to have a factory job, not because a factory job is not a good way to have an income and to support your family, but because we can do better, right? We are in this great, prosperous city that has so much to offer us that we can become leaders in our community. But how do you expect to become a leader if you cannot go to class and you are not engaging yourself to become someone better? I think attending school plays a big role in your future success. I believe that by coming to class and actually engaging and allowing yourself to learn the material that you're being taught speaks volumes and plays a vital role in what you can accomplish in the future. It's not just about coming to school and reading a book or writing an essay or completing some math problems. It's coming in and proving to yourself that you do have the determination, that you have the passion, and that you have the skills that it takes to become someone that you are proud of. Because it's not about proving to your teacher that you can do a math problem or proving to your principal that you are going to be at school, but it's about you proving to yourself that you do have what it takes to be someone who can make a difference in the city, in our state. We've seen a lot of people become very successful here. And it is by that discipline. And without discipline, I think it's very hard to accomplish goals that you have set for yourself. And one of those things that you have to be disciplined about is going to class and completing your work and being present. And I think in hindsight, once you've graduated high school, you'll be able to see that, and you'll be able to really absorb how impactful it was to miss classes. But right here and right now, you might not see that because it's just one day that you're missing or 2 days that you're missing. It's okay, you'll catch up. But once you start getting into that pattern of missing, the more you slide away from what truly is important, and from that discipline, and from being able to gain what you have to gain in order to graduate and have a successful job. If you can't make it to school, once you graduate and you apply for jobs, then are you going to go to work? Are you going to make it to your shift? Are you going to get paid? What are you going to do if you don't get paid because you can't go to work because you don't want to go to work, right? So that discipline has to be that discipline you have to learn from a young age. Truancy has always been a problem, right? For many reasons. Either because at our young age, we think it's cool to skip class and be rebellious and say, you know what, I'm gonna do what I want and not go to class because I can. Or it's because we are dealing with a lot of stuff at home, or we're dealing with stuff emotionally, whether it is in our personal life or whether it's here at school. Maybe you're being bullied, or maybe you're taking care of a younger sibling because your parents are at work, or maybe you feel like your parents don't care or your teachers don't care. You're feeling this overwhelming pressure of doing something as simple as going to school, but to you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, right? I think your teenage years and high school specifically are very, very hard. And some kids are able to deal with that pressure and some aren't. And that's where truancy comes into play. So there are so many factors that make a kid not want to go to school, so we have to get to the bottom of that first in order to combat truancy. I think a lot of kids sort of lose hope. They think that going to class is really not going to matter with their future, whether maybe they think that they have no prospect of going to college, or they think, well, what's the point? I'm just gonna go waitress, at a restaurant anyway, so why do I have to learn this? Or the simple fact of just, I'm not gonna use history when I grow up, whenever I have my professional job, so why even go to that class? I don't feel comfortable in there anyway. So there are so many factors that we have to, and so many obstacles that we have to break in order to combat truancy. Okay, so my message to anyone who decides to be truant and to skip school and to stay at home or do something else instead of going to class is that you deserve more from yourself. You have what it takes in order to succeed, and you have to believe that there are people out there that care about you, and that if there is a problem in your life that's keeping you from going to class because you feel uncomfortable or you're just unhappy or you just don't know how to cope with it, there are people there that will help you and encourage you and push you forward. This is not about getting you in trouble. It's more about focusing on you and letting you know, hey, you do have what it takes. Let me help you, right? Because we all get caught up in our emotions and in what could or couldn't happen, but there are people that care out there that you can reach out to if you need that advice, because skipping school on a regular basis can be very, very detrimental to your future.